Episode 7 of Season 1 of Outlander, Blood of My Blood. Will Julia and Lord Lovat get married? Synopsis of the episode. Outlander, Blood of My Blood Season 1's 7th episode, The Redcoat, brings together the parallel histories of 1714 Scotland and World War I-era England around themes of rebellion, sacrifice, and forbidden love. As their covert handfast union ignites rivalry and an impending virtue test that jeopardizes their future, Ellen Mackenzie, Slater, and Brian Fraser, Roy, deal with escalating clan tensions in the Highlands. Under Lord Lovat's deceptive rule at Castle Leoch, Julia and Henry Beecham, Irvine, deal with the aftermath of the birth of their son William in the World War I plot. Lovat's neglected consort Davina Porter, Vickers, and Julia's alliance take a daring turn when they oppose his plans to use a forced marriage to claim William as his heir. The episode, which was directed by Philip John, combines period-appropriate details, such as Jacobite politics and herbal treatments, emotional stakes, and beautiful Highland scenery to create a cliffhanger that challenges allegiances in both eras. The prequel's examination of women's autonomy in restrictive societies is heightened by the marriage question, which drives the drama of the World War I arc. Will Julia marry Lovat? Is there a marriage between Julia and Lord Lovat? Answer without spoilers. Although there isn't a formal marriage ceremony between Julia Morriston/Beecham and Lord Lovat in Episode 7, the possibility of a forced coupling serves as a major story point. Julia and Davina take extreme steps to rebel against Lovat's increasing pressure on her to wed him, which is part of his plan to legitimate her son William as his heir for Jacobite goals. A crucial resolve for the finale is set up by the episode's ambiguity regarding the accomplishment of their scheme. See the spoiler section below for a more detailed explanation of how this plays out. Examine the analysis, the marriage plot, themes, and strengths. The Hollywood Reporter praises the marriage subplot as a feminist subversion that reflects Claire Fraser's resourcefulness from the original Outlander and describes Episode 7 as a heart-wrenching yet empowering chapter. With a strong performance, Corfield's Julia serves as the focal point of the World War I arc. Her resistance to Lovat's patriarchal rule is reminiscent of Ellen's Highland uprising. Vickers' Davina, a rejected ally whose motivations straddle the line between vengeance and solidarity, adds dimension, while Curran's Lord Lovat stands out for fusing charismatic danger with misguided ambition. Based on 18th-century power dynamics where women's bodies were used as bargaining chips for political gain, Screen Rant highlights the historical authenticity of the marriage threat. Diana Gabaldon's contributions ensure period-appropriate details like herbal sabotage, e.g. monk's pepper, or Vitex Agnes Castus, used to curb Lovat's advances. The episode's strength is the synergy between the two timelines. Julia's attempt to escape marriage is similar to Ellen's resistance to clan expectations, which supports the prequel's notion of love as a battlefield for both personal and political reasons. While the Jacobite tensions of the Highland arc provide intensity, Philip John's direction shines in more private moments, such as Julia and Davina's whispered planning in the dark kitchens. Collider rates it an 8.5 of 10, praising the deliciously tense marriage gambit as a satisfying conclusion to Julia's storyline, but pointing out that Ellen's story is somewhat overshadowed by the World War I timeframe. While praising the speed, Den of Geek points out that several small historical liberties, such as faster herbal effects, are theatrical conveniences. Serious Disintegration, the monk's pepper scheme and the marriage plot. After it is revealed in Episode 6 that Lovat claims Julia's baby William as his own in order to strengthen his Jacobite ancestry, the marriage question becomes the main focus of the episode in the middle. In order to establish William's legitimacy, Lovat, Curran, steps up his pressure and plans a formal betrothal announcement at a Castle Leoch feast, declaring Julia his intended. Julia, who is already secretly married to Henry, only Davina knows this, must decide whether to obey in order to protect her kid or to rebel and run the risk of being discovered. Here comes Davina, whose own son Brian, Lovat's unrecognized heir, is marginalized by this plan. In order to embarrass Lovat and end the marriage, Davina suggests adding monk's pepper, a chaste herb that suppresses libido and fertility, to his food in a secret herb garden scene. In a tense scene, the plan is carried out. Davina drugs Lovat's venison stew while Julia diverts him with pretended acquiescence. During a post-feast encounter, the herb takes effect, leaving Lovat angry and impotent, and he blames cursed fates instead of suspecting sabotage. This gives Julia more time to organize an escape with Henry, but as the episode comes to a close, Lovat's suspicions are growing, suggesting a potentially harmful reprisal in the epilogue. Although there is no wedding, there is a danger, and Julia's defiance solidifies her status as a proactive heroine. In line with the episode's larger examination of women avoiding patriarchal traps, this plot, according to Collider, flips the damsel trope into a cunning act of resistance.